Oh, come on. Oh, Jesus. That's a great way to start the stream. Hello. Good morning. I'm glad you all could fall to your deaths. I'm joking. Absolutely joking. Don't do that. Okay. Probably should have set that up before I started the stream, but you know how it goes. You know how it be. You just kind of do stuff. You just kind of be doing stuff. Just kind of doing stuff. Let me start some music here. Then we eat some breakfast. Yes, it's almost noon. Yes, I'm just now eating breakfast, which is normal for me. I think, I wake up, I do a little workout, I get a shower in, and then I set everything up for the stream and for food. So, it makes sense to me. Spotify. Mike! Yeah, well, I can be a little off. How art thou? I got me my medicine and some yogurt for breakfast, because, I felt like if I sat and, actually made food this morning, I wouldn't be started till, 1. Because I make food from scratch. I cut up garlic and ginger and onion, and I put it in a pan. I saute it with some bacon fat or some beef fat that I've left over from something else I cooked. And once that's sauteed down, then I add in my meat, whatever I'm going to add in, cook that up. Then I add eggs, and I got to wait for that. And then I add cheese, and I let it melt a little bit, So it takes a minute. So today we're just going to do some yogurt. Some miso soup. And when I get off stream, I'll probably have to eat again, but that's the life of someone who is extremely thin and struggling to eat food. You're just consistently trying to eat. Thanks. I'm glad we can agree on something that I'm a little off. Thank you. Yay! And then tomorrow you get to go to the new beach. I'm so happy for you. Let's do some medicine first, because we all need to take care of our digestive system better, especially with the way our government plays with our food. Apple cider vinegar and honey water. My mouth wasn't big enough for all of that. Whoops. Now it's all over me. Not all over me, but there's a decent amount, a good few dribbles. Let me get a napkin. Okay, we back. Anyways, underwater. Oh yeah, are you gonna go to Sabi's then? If it is, if it's not that great, are you gonna go to Sabi's instead? Okay. I'm waiting for my beet juice to melt and my mango juice, so I can have that. Miso soup. I realize that a lot of the things I eat in the morning are just liquids, and I'm not so sure that's the best for my digestive, but or for gaining weight, but I feel like it's the best for my digestive health, because it helps me get started with a lot of nutritionally dense things, in my opinion, or things that I feel like I'm lacking in life. That's good shit. Good shit. I love miso soup. It's my favorite thing. Oh my gosh. I was just reading A Walk Down Wall Street this morning. And I was like, what do I want to do for my Twitch today? I know I did the, I was going to do the music thing, but I was like, no, I want to go back to talking about taxes and stuff today. So after I get done eating some food and chatting a bit, we'll get into some books and stuff. I'm actually gonna probably go through this book called Invested by like Daniel Town, because she has like a month-to-month thing, and I was trying to keep up with it, so I would like to just see what my daily stuff is, my monthly stuff is for this month. I didn't really keep up with it last month. I was supposed to read this book. Oh, it's on there. Oh, what is it called? I don't remember. I don't. I'll find it and I know I've said this before, so I'm gonna actually do it this time. But after this, I'll find it and I'll put it on the YouTube like thing. But oh, I forgot to turn off my volume. Whoops. That's okay. But I'll make sure to put it up on there. Actually, it's probably in my notes, so I'll find my notes and pull those up, and we'll talk about that. Okay, also, by the way, I think in my streams it's going to become very obvious that I'm continuously doing this. And all of you guys are going to be like, what are you doing? Like, stroking your invisible beard? But I really do have a little baby facial hair. I call him Jeffrey. Yeah, look at little Jeffrey. Little Jeffrey got really long a few months ago, and I lost him for like 3 months. And now he's come back like a month ago or so now. So, welcome Jeffrey to the street. And a burp! Just for him. Oh, shit. How are you guys doing today? How's work? What did you say? You're cooking your lunch? What are you eating? In Mexico? Watching Once Upon a Time in... Is it a new season of Once Upon a Time and it's in Mexico? Or are you in Mexico watching Once Upon a Time? Wait, because that wouldn't make sense if you're going to go to New Beach. You'd have to be here. Wizard behavior! Thank you. I'm glad you know. Okay, let's go to book notes. Invested. I'll start with, like, what you were supposed to do in January. You need to get like into Rule 1 investing, learn what that is, kind of check up on Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, and then you got to figure out your investment business, invest in business with values and morals. So like you got to start looking at businesses that follow your values and morals. But the first month, right, the first thing you should do is learn value investing, Rule 1 investing, about inflation and other investing practices. Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Phil Town are good people to check out. Rule number 1 is a great book. Rule number 1, don't lose your money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. So like, if you have any significant amount of money that's like sitting in a savings account, you should be having it in a high yield. I need to turn this down. You should be having it in a 4 to 5% high yield in savings account, because our interest rates, like the way our money like goes, is at 3%. So if you just have it in a plain normal savings account, 3% of that money is going down the fucking tank. You're losing that. Even though it's still physically there, it's not there. And that's like the confusing part. So books to read, rule number 1, and Payback Time. That's the one that I was trying to read. I read rule number 1, but I hadn't read Payback Time because I've been listening to the books. And Payback Time is a read. I have to actually sit down and read it physically, and I just haven't done that because it's not my favorite thing to do. So, it's a movie. I have to watch it. What is it on? I have to watch it. El Dorado was my favorite movie as a kid. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Where to watch? Oh, I love that. Amazon. Okay. YouTube. Cool. Well, I'm gonna watch it because that sounds amazing. I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing that with me. Alright. Let's go back to a little bit of investing here so I can get through the first few months. So technically, I'm behind in my own right, in my own investing choices. That's great. Okay, and then you're supposed to answer this question. What would you do if you had financial freedom? How would that make you feel? And then in February, you're supposed to look in, which I told my best friend about, and she did, but I haven't done. Look into tax-free accounts. Look into 15 to 20% per year account goals. You want compounded rate of return to be that. For example, like 40K at 26 return for 60 years is $14.19 million. So that's important. I don't really have an income right now, so I don't have any savings or anything. So I think that's why I put this off, is because it overwhelmed me thinking about finding these things and not having a way to start it. Look into Peter Lynch, which maybe we'll do that. We'll do that here. Let me look. Peter Lynch. We'll do that today on stream. How about that? We'll do it together. Peter Lynch. And we'll look into some books that he's doing and stuff like that. So I'm going to click, I did that. Read book by him, Beating the Streets Up on Wall Street. Okay, I need to do that. Look into low-fee index that track the market, like S&P. I've been kind of doing that on and off, looking for different apps and stuff like that. So I think that's just something you're always going to have to do. And then find your number for financial freedom, on danieltown.com, which I looked at, but I didn't do. So maybe we could do that together too. Okay. This month, for March, you're supposed to create an investing space. You're supposed to be this is my, when I come here, all I do is invest, right? Or a mobile office. It doesn't have to be a physical space. It just has to be something where it's this is your investing space. So on my phone and on my computer, I have an investing bar with all my investing stuff, and then on my phone I have a little investing tab where I put all my apps and stuff. And then it's you're supposed to focus on what you invest in now, and investing now is the things you buy in. And you for example, if you're a Starbucks, but I am not, fuck Starbucks. If you're a Starbucks person and you go there every single day and you buy a $5-10 coffee, you're investing in Starbucks. You should have stock in Starbucks. Why do you not? You literally give them money all the time. You should be getting money from them, right? It's the same thing. If you're an HP, Dell, or Microsoft user, you should be learning if you can invest into those businesses at all on the other side, because they should be giving you money for that crap. Oh, it's on Netflix? Despierto. Okay, I'm gonna go look that up real quick too, actually, so I don't forget. Desperado. $1995? Huh. Interesting. Okay, let me move these off. What the flip? There we go. Boom. Okay. Back to investing. Anyways. You should have stock in DV8. I don't even think DV8 has stock. That's the thing. Not every business has stock. And if they do have stock, it's not always a stock that you want to be invested in, right? Do you believe DV8's gonna get better and make more money? You know? How much do you believe in that business? Is it going to be sold off to somebody else and then you're going to lose all your money that you invested into it? It's and I'm just taking this as this this business, but these are questions you got to ask when you're investing, right? And therefore, if you are buying something where you're I would never invest in that, you should stop buying their products. You know what I mean? You should switch products and buy products from the company you would invest in, or want to, or are invested in, right? I believe that. I believe that. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, so like this month I'm supposed to be looking for like actual corporations and looking into them. I think this is like when you make your circles of things. I've tried to do that a few times and I've just never fully done it. But you want to, like, if you're going to do value investing or Rule 1 investing at all, you need to find companies with good missions filled with values and morals that align with your own. Like, the story of the business should have meaning, it should have good meaning, should have good management, and it should have a margin of safety. So you're like, the big thing is you're supposed to find, this month we're supposed to find these businesses and have the 3 great reasons to buy the company: the meaning, the management, and margin of safety, and be able to, it says what is the company all about right now and what is their plan for the future. Brainstorm how you already vote with your money, what will support you to keep going when it is difficult. What values are you supporting, and do you want to keep supporting them? From that, make a list of missions you choose to vote for with your investing money. So, that's definitely something I need to do. I think I kept trying to skip over the second month and doing that, and then, like, I didn't really know it. Like, I think I have, like, a notepad somewhere where I repetitively kept trying to make the circles and businesses and stuff like that, so. I minimally have 2 books I need to read before I get to this, for sure, which is the Payback Time by Phil Town, and looking into Peter Lynch and reading his Beating the Streets and it's 2, Beating the Streets and One Up on Wall Street. Why don't I miswrote that. Yeah, Beating the Streets, One Up on Wall Street. And I have not read either one of these books yet. But we'll look into Peter Lynch, kind of learn a little bit about him today. I'm sure you guys know about Charlie Munger a bit. Like, even if you only heard him, and Warren Buffett, I'm sure you guys have at least heard of them. But those were 2 people that worked like together to like build Rule 1 and value investing back in the day. They have like a huge company that used to be like a textile company, and they changed it into the investing company. What's the? I'm gonna look. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger textile company to investing. What was that company called? Name. Berkshire Hathaway. And I think, like, if you don't want to do much work in investing, just look into Berkshire Hathaway. They'll probably do you a good 15 to 20% return. Probably on the lower end because they're going to take their cut, right? But, like, they teach you how to get that on your own without someone taking a cut. I wasn't reading, hold on. You're pretty anti-corporation? Why? That's how capitalism works. You literally live, like, you're in the wrong country. I don't think capitalism is bad. I think it's the people who use it, right? Like, it's like anything, right? So the way I see it, because I used to agree, I would have totally agreed with you a few years ago. I've been like, yeah, fuck corporations, fuck capitalism, this shit's stupid. And, truthfully, though, I can see why people feel that way. I think it's just out of ignorance. It's out of not knowing. It's not out of not understanding how it all works. And I think capitalism is, there's a reason it's been around for a while. there's a reason why other people are trying to take it in on a different way. Like, I mean, look at China. They literally come over here all the time. TikTok, making lots of different things, trying to profit off capitalism. And that's because, it works. It works really well. The problem is the people in charge of, information, right? They don't really... There's always going to be a winner. There's always going to be a loser. That's kind of how capitalism works. But the problem is right now is that the information is being held kind of secretively, but also freely, because there's the Free Information Act that we forced them to put out here in America. And so it's not really that you can't learn or you can't do it. It's that it takes a smaller person a lot more to figure it out. Because you can, there's a difference between kind of abusing the system and doing something illegally, right? There's a reason why schemes and pyramid schemes are not okay, is because the way they do it is the person's not being honest about where the money's going and where it's coming and what the numbers look. They're lying to you. That's illegal. They're not allowed to do that. And governments shut that down all the time. The reason why people still believe these things are happening, example A, Amway is always a big one people bring up, Avon, Lululemon, right? People are these are schemes. And they're not schemes, because they do pay out and they do tell you all the information. The thing is the government can't tell people who don't know not to give them their money. They can tell those companies, you have to tell people the truth, right? You have to say the likelihood of you making money is low, it's low. But they don't have to be blunt about it. They don't have to be direct about it. They just have to tell you. So, when you're doing those schemes where, and then I shouldn't say scheme, when you're working with those companies that work in this way to make profit in capitalism, and you know that the top guy is making the most and that you to get there is probably almost unlikely, you will still do it because the possibility is there. And somebody will get there. Will it be you? Well, who knows, And that's where they get people, because they get a lot of people on this idea that they'll become the 1% just like that guy was. But the truth is that you need to start your own just like that to be that 1% guy. You know what I mean? You could become the 1%'s dude, the face, the head, the marketing, right? And you're going to be making lots and lots of money, but the majority of the people underneath you aren't. I think some of them are really good. I'd say if you want to learn about those companies, Amway is probably the best because it's the cheapest to get into. But majoritively, they've changed the way that they've done a lot of it, and so it is very helpful for you to educate yourself on business, on the way that they work. I wouldn't say I would expect to become a millionaire off of it, but I was making $500 a month, but I was also putting in $600 a month into products. So I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about scheduling. I learned how to work with QuickBooks. I learned about bookkeeping, and I understood how to do sales. So it was kind of going to school, but your own personal school. So it's not that I disagree with the way that capitalism works. I disagree with the idea that there's not enough information being shared with the common folk for them to have a full understanding of how it works, because then they can get tricked because they are ignorant, because they don't have the information, and that's not illegal. It's not illegal to be misinformed or to not be known, but it's illegal to lie, so Boston Dynamics. Well, yeah, that's how, right, I don't think it's predatory, right? Like, but there is a natural structure of like winner to loser, and like that's the game, right? The point is for you to have the freedom. But what people don't understand when it comes to freedom is that means anything can happen. When you are given the freedom to be the winner, the loser, to everything in between, when you are given the freedom to make as much money as you want, because that's how the U.S. is set up. Like, your money is your money. If you don't believe that your money is your money and you deserve all of that money, you're playing the game wrong. If you think you need to be paying taxes and you should be paying as much into taxes as possible, you're playing the game wrong. Because your goal should be paying the least amount of taxes. You should be giving the government the least amount to pay for the government officials, roads, schools, and stuff like that. You shouldn't be trying to, like, you should be trying to get as much back and, like, not give them, like, truthfully, like, when you have your W-2 and stuff, like, you should not be giving the government money monthly for anything. Why are you paying into SSN? You know you're not going to have any when it comes around to your time, so why are you paying into it? You should not be doing that. And when tax season comes around, you should have donated into places, so that way the government's like, oh, you maxed out in your donation. You should be maxing out in your 401k. You should be maxing out in your Roth IRA. You should be maxing out in all your tax-free accounts. And honestly, if most people did that, you'd probably be paying pennies in taxes. Pennies, 10%. And that's how much that's the most that anybody in this country should be paying for taxes, if you're playing the game right. But it doesn't matter what we should be doing, it's what we're in. And I think that's what caught me up for a long time. Is I always was like, this isn't how it should be, this is crap, like why is it like this? I hate this. The problem is this is how it is. And the person with money, this concept, is the one who gets the most votes. Right? We see that all the time. We recognize that. The person with the most money gets more votes. That's how it works. We're in capitalism. That's literally how it works. So instead of trying to be like, this isn't how it should be, you should be trying to play the game the best and then using your votes to change the world the way you want it to be. That's literally it. And it's really frustrating to see that's the concept that like we grow up with, is to play the game and to be the loser, because that's how they kind of like set up, like, just play to be a loser, just be the loser for us, or be angry with us and like fight us, right? But like, you don't understand that like when you're fighting like that, if you're not playing the game to be the winner, you don't get a vote. You don't get a vote at all. Not even one. If you're not playing the game as a loser or a winner and you're just fighting, you don't get a vote at all. And that's what they want. The winners want you to not play the game or play the game and be the loser. So you have to play the game to win. That's literally the only way. And that's where, like, literally, I think over the last year, I've slowly been adjusting my mindset, slowly been adjusting the way I see the world. Is like, I'm like, okay, all right. If no one's at the top, gonna change the game so that everyone's even, I'm gonna play the game, I'm gonna win, and then I'm gonna change it. That's how I feel. It's not wishful. Why would you say something like that? Get out of here. Go away then. I don't want to talk to you. Not if you're going to play games like that with me. That's rude as fuck. That's rude as fuck to be like, that's wishful thinking. Bitch, I know somebody in their 40s that's a millionaire right now based off of playing the game. What are you fucking talking about? Wishful thinking. I will be rich as fuck and you can watch me. But don't talk to me like that. Don't you dare talk to me like that. That's fucked up. And you know it. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean you get to shoot me down for it. You do not get to talk to me like that. Don't make me block you. Wow, that made me angry. Why would you say something like that, though? Like, what was the point of that? The point of wishful thinking is to shut people down. You saying things like that is to shut people down. And I get that where you're at, maybe you're not ready, but I believe in you. And what you're telling me is fuck that. Fuck your belief. Fuck what you think. I think it's wishful thinking.
Okay, fine. Go wish that somewhere else then. Go be over with all the other people who are fighting it and literally not changing shit. Go. You're free to go. Literally, it's free to be there. You can go. But if you would like to stay over here with me and communicate with me, we drop that at the door. Fast and hard and heavy, like a brick in water. Okay? I don't play that. I don't play that. I just can't. I'm sorry. I cannot. That is not where I'm at. When you are over here, there's no such thing as wishful thinking. When you are over here, it is to educate. It is to learn every step of the way. Even when we're having fun, even when we're joking around, the goal is to take tiny steps because there's no such thing. You're in America. This is the place of dreams. Why do you think people still come here? Yeah, there's a lot of fucked up things here. There's a lot of fucked up things, a lot of things that are not okay. But you're not in North Korea. I'm just saying. You're not in Gaza right now. I'm just saying. Go try and play the game there. Because people are dying there. They don't get to think about even wishful thinking. That's not even, like, so drop it. Drop that thought process. Especially when you're talking to me. You can think about that when you're off stream, when you're at work, wherever you want. But when you're here, talking to me, we don't talk about those things. Because I believe, like, people can have whatever they want. Yeah, it's going to take some hard-ass work. It's going to be painful. And, like, you're going to have to believe things you don't believe in. But, like, that... See, and then you're saying, not yet. This is what I'm saying. You can go now. Don't make me block you. Why would you encourage, want, or desire that to be here? And if you don't, then you should be doing everything in your power to stop it. Everything. Every small thing you do in your life should be trying to change that. Not only for yourself, but for the people around you. Why would you be dreaming of that coming here? Why would you be wishing for that to be here? And if you're not wishing for that to be here, you just accepting the fact that it could be or will be is doing that. That's exactly what that's doing. Are you? Because it sounds like it's wishful thinking. Ooh, doesn't that feel not so great? It doesn't feel really great, does it? Because I've literally read like 5 to 10 books a month for the last 4 months. On investing, on capitalism, on taxes, on accounting, on booking, on spirituality, on trauma, on growth, on personal growth, like on everything. On every doorstep, I'm knocking. So go ahead, tell me you're doing everything. But I really hope you are. And I really hope you're leaving those mindsets behind and not bringing them here. Because I will talk to you guys about anything. Alright? But I struggle too with the idea of like things getting really, really bad. I also struggle with like watching things happening in other places and thinking it could be here. So when I'm on this stream, I'm letting that go because I'm not trying to bring that into this world. I want to bring prosperity into this world. I want to bring love into this world. I want to bring hope into this world. And if that's something you're trying to do here and all around, and you're doing everything you can to do that, then you cannot speak. You cannot bring forth those thoughts. You cannot let them be here. It's hard, and I get it. I'm not angry with you for feeling those ways, because I understand. But I am upset that you come into my stream and I'm talking about these things in a positive light and trying to encourage people, and you say some shit like that's wishful thinking. Even if it was towards you, that's not okay here. We don't do that. Other people read that. Other people watch these streams. And I'm trying to become popular. I'm trying to grow my platform. So it's not just you and me, buddy. There's other people here witnessing. There's other people here being encouraged. There's other people here, like, experiencing. And you're affecting that. Those words affect them too. And if I don't get like this, if I don't act like this, people think that's okay. And I can't allow that to happen. Not anymore. Not on my stream. You can make your own stream and say that kind of stuff. And if I come and watch, then I'll just get off. Because I'm not trying to bring that into my life. I'm not trying to bring that into my dreams. I'm not trying to bring that into my future or anybody else. So don't bring your stuff like that into mine. We good? I appreciate that. I respect you too. I respect you a lot, which is why I'm getting so upset. Because I see you growing, I see you changing, I see you trying. So let's keep doing that. Please. I beg of you, because the world needs it. The world needs it bad, clearly. Clearly. I brought up 2 places out of multiple places right now in the world that's really messed up. Places where people are being murdered and killed for reasons that all of us can agree is stupid. So, for their sake, let's try to do something a little different. Alright? Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I'm sorry about the sounds, guys. I really forgot. That's all we have sometimes, you know? And I know that people kind of shit on optimism, but, like, I'm not ignorantly optimistic. I'm educating myself in being optimistic. I'm being proactive and optimistic. I can see. I understand. I get where we're at. I'm not playing dumb. But I'm not going to encourage that type of world all over the place. Right? Again, yes, things here in America are not perfect. Capitalism can be abused. It can be misused. I totally agree with you. Should it be? Of course not. Is it right now? Kind of, yeah. And that's crap. But there's people like you and me. I know people who are making money off of capitalism and using it for good. Are they like Elon Musk, kind of like big money? No. But they're working on it. And we're not going to shut them down. We're not going to make them feel bad. We're not going to send that energy to them. We're going to give positive energy. Yes, keep pushing. I want you to be as big as Elon Musk so that way you can make jobs and stuff for people and actually have, like, we're not making another Amazon. We're not going to do that to the people here in America or anywhere else that Amazon has the company. We're not going to allow them to abuse and use. We're not going to allow Americans here in the U.S. to look at other countries and be like, oh my gosh, they have child labor, and ignore the fact that in California last year, there was a multiple places that were found, shut down with child labor. There was places in Texas that were found with slave camps. So we're not going to forget. I'm not saying that, but we're not going to play the game like we're better, and we're also going to work on, at least we have the space to make it better. At least we are still given the freedom to make that choice. At least we are still in a safe enough place where not all of us, because I'm not going to say all of us, but not all of us are being negatively affected and killed like that. A lot of us still have the choice. A lot of us still have the ability, and so we need to take advantage of that, and especially these years coming. Especially. Exactly, yeah. There needs to be hope. There has to be. If there is none, if you truly believe it's just wishful thinking, you have given up the hope. And I know, like, you're like, oh, maybe, it's wishful thinking, but I still have hope. You can't have both. I believe in duality in so much things. I really do. Duality is in everything, but when it comes to hope, you cannot believe that that's wishful thinking. when it comes to trying, when it comes to becoming successful, you cannot believe that's wishful thinking. You have to let that go. Because otherwise you're always going to be questioning what you're doing. You're always going to be waiting to take the step. You're always going to be one step behind because you're going to be pausing. You have to be confident when you do those things. You have to. And I know that can be scary. I know that can be hard. I misstep all the time. I double question all the time. I get it. So I'm not saying don't do it. You gotta be perfect. But I'm just saying those thought processes really do affect the way you react to things. They really do. More than any of us want to agree to it. Yeah, right. Well, I know. Like, there's not many people to pick from, right? Like, do we want to pick Elon Musk or should I pick the Amazon dude? You know, I don't even want to say his name. But like, there's we have a limited selection right now. Limited. And also, anybody, truthfully, if someone's really protecting their stuff and they're that high up, like doing good things, like they shouldn't be in the public eye. Because they're going to be the biggest target. Like, look at Bernie Sanders. I don't even think he's the best person, but like, look at Bernie Sanders. He has really changed over the years and really tried to focus on the people. He's in the public eye. Look how much they shoot him down. Look how much they cover him up. They do not allow him in. And honestly, if he took himself out of the public eye and redirected his finances, he'd probably make more of an impact. He wouldn't be known for it. No one would know. But that's not the point when you're trying to change things for good, right? That's not the point when you're trying to help people. And so it's like this idea that like you can be both in those areas. And that's a hard one with the climate that we have now. In the future, I hope that can change. I hope it does, because I think the people who are doing the best should be the one in the public eye. I think the fake people being like, oh, we're doing so good. Look at all the good stuff we're doing. And then, like, behind the scenes, they're giving all their money to, like, the worst places. Like, well, we've seen that so many times. Like, what about Ellen? I think about her all the time. I've never really looked into Ellen. I don't really know, because I'm not, like, that kind of person when it comes to, like, famous people. But, like, I always heard great things about her and da-da-da. And then come around and she's, like, secretly really mean and rude to everyone and grumpy and stuff and da-da-da. And I'm like, how much of that is true? Like, I don't even know which one is true. How do you know? Like, who do you trust? So I'm like, I'm just not going to even, like, you just watch where her money goes. Truthfully, can you see where her money goes? Can you see where her money goes? That's a big one. Do they allow you to see it? Because someone who's doing good stuff with their money would show, right? Someone who's not would try and hide it. Yeah, I honestly, I try not to keep up with famous people like that because there's nothing I could do right now that would affect, like, how they spend their money or the way that they act. But I hope, right, I think I saw, like, The Weeknd give, like, a whole bunch of money to, he paid for airdropped food to go into Gaza. That's what it was. That's what I want to see. Okay, yeah, he didn't really, like, I don't even know how I saw it, truthfully. I don't think it was something that was really posted out there. But, like, that's what should be happening. The famous people shouldn't be, like, trying to look at the good stuff I'm doing. Like, look at, what's his name? Beast, whatever? Mr. Beast? Like, his whole career is around helping people. He's like, help me get money, make me famous, and then watch me give back as all of it. As much as I can. And, like, if you don't believe him, you can always go and find his finances. You really can. Like, after a certain amount of, like, income that you make, you have to have your records public. You have to. That's how it works. And, like, a little bit of clarity around that for tax reasons to keep the majority of the money to go back into their business. A lot of people will have a business and be an employee, and so you won't really see their finances because they'll be being paid a normal wage. But you can see what their company's doing, where their company's money is going. So, that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. Do I think there's better things she could donate her money to? Most definitely. But I think that's good. Exactly. See, there's people who do things and they don't say anything because that's not the point. The point isn't for everyone to be like, oh, yeah, you do something. The point is to do the good thing and that's it. You know? And I think that's what people forget. People who put it in front of the mirror, in front of the camera, and do it like Mr. Beast, there's a reason for that, you know? But if you're already famous and you're like, look at all the good stuff I'm doing, like, then that's kind of sketchy to me. Because I'm like, you have it blasted out there. What are you doing with the other millions? What are you doing with the other millions that you're having to blast out there that you're doing good stuff? And honestly, like, I don't believe that anything I do with my money the way I want to do it would be helpful. I truly believe I have to ask communities what to do with my money to be able to actively, positively affect those communities, right? For example, donating to local food banks, that's great. That's good. They probably need that. Is that the most efficient way to feed people? I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't know about that because I don't think, like, the way that you're talking right now makes me feel like you don't understand who Hamas is. But what's a good cause? Like, all of this has underlying things. Like, there's lots of things where people are like, this is a good cause. For example, recycling. Right? That's been pushed since I can remember. Right? Recycle, reuse, right? Like, but, like, the thing is, like, our recycling facilities have never worked. And most of it goes to the trash. If you want to recycle properly, what you should do is you should separate your tin, take it to a tin facility, canning facility, or whatever. If you have specific plastics, honestly, the best way to recycle plastics is to send them, is to find companies that take their product, their recycling back and reuse them. Yeah. Or to not buy plastic at all, truthfully. Like, buy companies that use glass and reuse the glass. No, it's not. Hamas is not a terrorist organization. You can't have a terrorist... Okay, you can't have a terrorist organization within a community of people who are being suppressed. That's a resistance. You understand that, right? Like, let me ask, do you feel like the water protectors and the indigenous folk are a terrorist organization? Because the United States, as a country, perceives them as a terrorist organization and treats them as such, but they're not. They're resistance fighters. Because they're trying to save the land and the water that their communities use for living. That's what Hamas has become. It wasn't, I don't know, like, where it all originated, right? But what I do know is that you can't be upset with one bombing in October when you have been killing thousands of those people for months and years beforehand. Right? You can't be upset when they take people into custody and then give them back perfectly fine, well fed and cared for, when you take people out of that area and pretty much murder them, rape them, harm them so much that when they come back they're traumatized, and think that's fair trade and call them the terrorists. I'm sorry, you can't. How does recycling help the homeless? Are you talking about forcing people to do free pickup for trash so that way they can get pennies on the can? Because that sounds like slave labor to me. And food banks, like, yeah, okay, that, like, I think it's good to have a well-organized place where people can come pick up food and stuff, but I do know a lot of people who don't like using, like, those specific companies and groups and stuff, because, like, a lot of them come with, like, having to do over 10 hours a week of church, service. which means you wouldn't be able to have a job. And a lot of people who are experiencing houselessness have work. So I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. I can't say that glass is a much better alternative than plastic, but I do know that it's easier to reuse repetitively. I don't think so. I don't know where you're getting that information. Where are you getting that information from? Like, because truthfully, like, a lot of the people I watch are literally people who are, like, in Gaza, like, using their phones, using solar-powered, like, energy to charge their phones so that they can show what's happening daily. And all of them are saying, like, Hamas is not the bad guy. It never has been. So, I would like to know where you're getting your information. Because it sounds kind of bullshit. Sounds like someone's feeding you a lot of bullshit. Because I think we just saw, like, TikTok is they're trying to get banned, right? I think they just passed something for it. And I think we just saw some shit with, like, rich billionaires in Israel. Right? That were, in Israel, that were, like, there's, like, conversation chat where, like, they were talking about it and wanting it to happen because, like, people were from Gaza were able to show what was happening in there and telling the truth and getting it to the people. And, like, Americans weren't like, not as many Americans are supporting them as they need to be able to do what they want to do the way they want to do it, which is essentially genocide an entire people. So, you know. You know, even though this got really off base of where I was trying to talk today, I'm glad that we had these conversations because I think it's important that you understand what you're saying. And, like, I truly believe in what, like, I've done enough research. And I do it every day. And I haven't stopped for months now. So. And also, I don't know how you can say, like, Hamas doesn't care at all, because Hamas isn't, like a company. They're, like, living civilians. And I just don't, if you believe that a living person doesn't care about other people, then I feel like that means you don't care about other people, right? It's kind of like this understanding in your brain. It's like a perception. So, like, you need to put yourself in that position, right? If your house was bombed and you lost your entire family, right, the people you were living with, would you, if you were, like, encouraged by, like, a group of people, like, hey, join us, we're fighting against those people who did that, would you not join them? Right? Would you not want to fight back? It's not that you don't care about people, it's that you're tired of, like, the things happening to you and you want it to change, and because you have no vote in the world, you can't, like, get your voice out to make a change, and no one's listening to you. Like, what else do you have to do? It's not that you don't care. It's that you're trying to do something to fight back. Also, I don't think you understand Al-Qaeda either then. Because if you did, you would know that, you know what? Actually, I'm seeing I think what you think is happening is that everything that America says, like our government says, is right. So when they say these people are bad and we're going to kill them, you think, yeah, those people are bad and we're going to kill them. And to me that says you don't care about people. Because why would you need to kill other people because they're bad? Because other people aren't bad. Right? Like, I don't think you guys understand how these groups come around. Like, every group has, like, do I say the way that they do things is right? No. No, of course not. Like, nothing's perfect, right? I don't think murdering anyone, no matter what, is good. But the reason they come around is because someone once suppressed them, killed a bunch of their people, and so they create a group to fight back. but something was once done to them. Does that make murdering people right? No, but does that mean we should just murder them? Not really. Not really. No. Not particularly. That's not how I see it. Should we listen, communicate, and talk more? Yeah, I do. Do you think that those people are going to do that with the people who suppress them? Probably not. But do you think that the suppressors' supporters should just come in and get rid of those people then? We should just finish the job for them? Is that what you guys want? You'd rather have like a lot more people die at our hands than them. But they're the bad guys. Would you guys like to be the ones that are holding the guns and the suits, like, killing them? I know someone I literally just watched a YouTube video about a guy who went to the Iraq War, and he is so traumatized because he's like, they would tell us that, like, the bad guys were in there to go in there, and I would take out a family. I would, like, force a 14-year-old girl out of her home. I would shoot at people and not know who was in there, and then see a bunch of dead children. So please tell me how they're the bad guy. I get it, killing's not great, but I'm just saying I don't think coming back at a group of people by killing more of people is the way to go about it. And I think we've proven in the past that there's a such thing as diplomatic relationships. Japan's proven that. So, like, I just don't understand why people think it's okay for us to kill but not other people. Why is it okay for us to murder a bunch of people but not other groups of people? What's the difference? Why are we the good people? I would just love to know that. I would love to know that. Who are you getting the information from where Hamas is doing that? Because I have not seen that. That's not what I've seen. Yeah, but you were just blaming Hamas. That's what I'm saying. You see them as the bad guy. And you're portraying them as such. But why? Why? Of course. That's why we're killing. That's why our government kills other people. Because we have benefits out of it. We get resources. We get treaties. But why then does that make us the good guy? Why does that make us a good guy? Because it doesn't. It makes us bad. It makes us real bad, in my opinion. Iraq is about oil. Gaza is about oil. Yeah. But you can't say that. You can't say that they weren't not good. You don't know that. You have no idea what it was like to be there. You have no idea what it was like to have to live through any of that. So how can you say that so confidently? Okay, then you should also do that with Israel, because they've been doing that to Gaza for years. Years. Yeah, but you saying Hamas is a bad guy means there's a good guy. You understand? When you say someone's bad, there has to be a good side. There has to. That's how it works. Two sides of one coin. Duality. But that's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. There is no bad guy. There are people who are harmed that fight back, and there's people that harm those people for fighting back. And we are the people who love coming in and be like, this thing started here, and we're just going to pick a side, and we're going to annihilate one side, and we're going to take the goodies. I don't see how that makes us good. I don't see how that's a good thing. Do you understand? I don't see how giving money or anything to any country or any people or picking any side or seeing people, like, if you believe in, what did you say here? That somebody was a genocidal war criminal, then so is all the Israel leaders. And they should all be put to death then. If that's how you feel. It's not just one person. You can't just pick this one person's doing it. If we get rid of them, then we're all good. We've seen that before, and it didn't work. We saw that in Iraq, and it didn't work. So please tell me how this is different. Okay, but you're still using it. You're still using it. Even though you are saying that it's a concept, right? Which I agree with. I do agree with. The problem is you're still using the concept. You're still perceiving and putting those perceptions on other people, other groups. You're generalizing people. You call them Hamas. You call them Al-Qaeda. But those are human beings who had families who were probably murdered in front of their faces. Tell me if that happened to you, you wouldn't create a group of some sort. Some kind of resistance. Okay, so then you can agree that there's no one person that is to blame. And that is the multitude of everyone involved. And that there needs to be no more killing. Right? Then you can agree that it's not Hamas's fault. And you can stop saying that now. Because every country does it. Israel especially. And truthfully, if you get down to the bottom of it, people like the indigenous folk who still live here are still mistreated by our country. Daily. Killed. We literally destroyed the salmon run in Alaska 2 years ago to the indigenous folk that live up there. How has that affected them? Do you know? Do you know how they're doing? Fuck no, you don't! You don't give a shit about them! But we did that. Our taxpayer money was building the stuff up there. Our taxpayer money was the one that paid the people to go up there. Our taxpayer money was the one that did that. But what about them? Well, that was thousands of years ago, so it doesn't matter. Is that it? Should we just watch them disappear? When I was in high school, I believed all the indigenous people were dead. That we had killed them all. And I only recently, within the last 3 years, realized that I knew of the reservations, but I didn't understand. I didn't comprehend. These things are going on everywhere. It's not just there. It's just really, really bad there right now. And it's not undercover. It's being shared. It's being shown. You can't pick a side and be like, oh, massive man. Like, you can't. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, you can. But I think you're kind of ignorant for doing it. Okay, so what, should they just die then? Should they, like, if someone did something bad to you and you were literally about to die, would you just lay there and let it happen? Is that what you should do? Is that the right thing to do? Is that the correct thing to do? You know, next time someone tries to rape me, I'll remember that. I'll just let it happen. Because, like, that's the right thing to do. Oh, wait, that did happen to me 3 times in college. Thank you. You know what, though? You're right. October 7th totally is a great reason to kill, like, 2 million people. It's a great reason. No, yeah, and I agree. But does that mean that we should be funding it to continue and encouraging it and picking sides and choosing what the bad guy is? Is that what that means? Yeah, it does though. It does though. Because that's how society sees it. That's how they perceive it. That's why Israel's doing what they're doing. You can even go and watch videos where Israel's are like, all of the Gazans need to die because otherwise they're going to be Hamas's because we killed so many of them that they'll turn on us. They literally say that almost word for word. Go find it. Go Google it. You will find them. But they're using it as an excuse. That's the problem. And now you're picking sides with the people who are choosing to use that as an excuse. You're allowing it to happen. That is what you are doing. And that's your choice. You can do that. But that is what you're doing. And you can try and be like, no. But that is what you're doing. So, I just hope you enjoy your choices. And you understand what you're doing. Now, after giving trillions of dollars, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good on us. Good on us. After we funded thousands of trillions of dollars, now we're not doing it now. Now we've done better. Oh, shit. That's funny. Oh, you got me good. That's a knee slapper. You really have no idea what you're saying, do you? That's okay. It's okay to be ignorant. But you should change that, in my opinion. Truthfully. I think it'd make your life a lot better. More medicine. You know what, though? As much as I'd love to keep talking about this, because it's important, the whole point of this was to talk about taxes. And I'm trying to educate people on that. Because I think it's important that people do that so that they can have a better vote in this world. So, we're going to learn about Peter Lynch now for a little bit before I get off. I do need to share these books and find them and read them. But also, I want to kind of just understand who he is, because I've heard of, like, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger before, like, casually, but never Peter Lynch. So, this is a new one for me. 1944, eh? Is he dead? Born. Education. She died in 2015, his wife. Is he still alive then? That'd be impressive. I think he's still alive. Hot damn. Old people impress me sometimes. Oh, he was like a part of Fidelity. Nuh-uh. Well, shit. I always hear good things about Fidelity. I think I'm probably going to get... They might be who I'm working with. I think I'm going to work with Fidelity, get a thing through them. He also has, besides One Up on Wall Street and Beating the Street, he has Learn to Earn, a beginner's guide thing, The Stock Shop, Wiring Prometheus, some other books. Okay. Let's see here. American Investor Mutual Funds, which we know about in Fidelity. That's pretty easy. He's a philanthropist. Oh, Shantae. Magella Fund? I've never heard of that. Dude, he did 29% annual return. Fuck, dude, that's good. Like, you should be aiming for at least 15% return on your investments, truthfully. Dude, I guess 29% is double of the average S&P 500. That's cool. See, that's why I'm like, unless your employers are, like, I'm never gonna, like, invest into, like, a 401k or a Roth IRA unless my, like, job is, like, doubling it. Because, like, it's just not worth it if it's not. You can do at least 5% better on your own. Dude! Okay, I'm gonna read this. Making it the best performing mutual fund in the world during his oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna start. Lynch averaged a 29.2 annual return, consistently more than double the S&P 500 stock market index, and making it the best performing mutual fund in the world. During his 13-year tenure, assets under management increased from the U.S. 18 million to 14 million. That's a lot of money. He was also a value investor. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta learn rule number 1 in value investing, truthfully. That's the way to go. There's a lot of different ways to invest, but everything I've been reading, that's the way to go. Yeah, I gotta read his book, because I get it. Okay, let's read about Fidelity. In 1966, Lynch was hired as an intern. Wow, at Fidelity. Partially because he had been caddying for Fidelity's president. Of course, it's all about knowing people. It really is. You gotta, like, you need to know people. He went to the army. I would never join the army. I thought about it, though. This time, Lynch was charged with following the textiles, metals, and mining and chemical industries, eventually becoming Fidelity's director of research. Wow. In 1977, Lynch was named head of the then obscure Magellan Fund. Yeah, I've never heard of this. Let's I'm sure it's like Fidelity, but oh, it's a part of Fidelity. The Fidelity Magellan Fund is a U.S. domiciled mutual fund from the Fidelity family of funds. It is perhaps the world's best known actively managed mutual fund, known particularly for its record-selling growth under the management of Peter Lynch. Yeah. So maybe one to look into if you're joining Fidelity. That's crazy. Oh, it went from 18 million to 14 billion. I think I said that wrong the last time. Yeah, so he went from 18 million to 14 billion. That's where he ended. He had them at 14 billion assets. That's so much money. That's so much money. Okay, so right now they're at, like, it's not applicable because, like, the president isn't, like, hasn't ended his tenure, which is actually going to happen in 6 years. But the last guy, he ended it with 21 billion. I wonder what they're at. 2022, their return was at 27. 2021, 26, 2020, 28. Dude, 2019, dude? Whoa. That was, 31%? Fuck, dude. Who was that? Jeffrey S. Feingold. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So this is definitely, I think I'm definitely going to look into Fidelity then. Because it sounds like they just have really good people. Who is this? I saw you. Lobe Tube. Hi, Lobe. how are you? You just said, oh, welcome for joining. We just had an intense conversation about Gaza and Hamas and all that shit. But you can find it on my YouTube if you want to watch it later. And I'm going back to texts, which means I'm going to have to change the name of this. That's fine. I don't mind. Am I going to eat all this yogurt? I don't think so. I thought I was going to, but I'm probably not. It's kind of like... It's not well flavored. I don't like flavored yogurt. Okay. Back to Peter Lynch. I'm glad I looked into him, though. Because I've been on the fence about working with Fidelity, but I think at this point, I like it more and more. Because there's just so many other, like, companies to work with, and there's a lot of new ones. Okay. That's Peter Lynch. Bop, bop, bop. Where are we at in life? I guess we've been going for an hour. I do need to finish reading A Walk on Wall Street. So I might cut off to do that. Okay. What do I need to do? I need to make sure that when I post this that you guys have the books. So you guys can get them. I don't know if I should just like... I should just like have the book name. You guys can Google it. You know. So I should... Beating the Street. Beating the Street. Peter Lynch. And what was the other one? One Up on Wall Street. Peter Lynch. Okay. And then there was another book. What was the other book I need to make sure I have? Payback Time and Rule 1. Let's make sure those are up here. Oops. Payback Time. Who's it by? Really, Phil Town. He's another guy that I've been kind of looking into, but I don't know. And Rule 1. And you'll be able to find those, the book names and the YouTube link and stuff. I'll make sure to have those there so that you guys can read them if you want. I really encourage you to do it, though, because, like, again, I have 3 of them that I have not read out of all of them. I've only read 2. So, but, again, what was the one on Walk Down Wall Street? I'll put that one there, too. Because that's the one I'm reading right now. Okay. And I'll make sure to have those there. Video buffering, use a low latency toggle. I don't know what that means. What's a low latency toggle? Oh, is that how I clip? Ooh, I'm definitely gonna try and clip again in the future. This music or no? Can you hear it? This is like book reading music. It's like, yeah, go and get your books now. No, I'm joking. Sorry. But if you don't want to buy them, I really encourage you guys to go online or go to your local library and get Libby. You can rent the books for free from your local library, read them, or have them like read to you through the Libby app. It is flippin' great. I love it. I literally, like, I'm not one to sit down with a book and, like, I don't know what it is. Like, probably my ADHD, truthfully. But, like, sitting there, not my favorite thing. But if I could, like, move around while, like, being able to do it, that would be great. So, like, that's what I do. I, like, do dishes, do laundry, clean while I'm, like, listening to a book. And it kind of, like, helps me stay sidetracked while I'm allowing the information to go in. So, like, there's one book, I think it was Invested, where I listened to it twice, where I listened to it once just, like, doing things, and the second time I took notes. So, like, I have to be doing something actively. But if you're not, like, you can just go buy the book or read it hand by hand if that's what you enjoy to do. But I really strongly encourage that if you have problems, like, fitting books in, to go do those things. Oh, my strawberries are going bad. Jobs. It's so soft. I feel like it's going to be bad. They weren't my straws, by the way. I was given these straws. Y'all didn't mess up. Sorry, you had to see that. I think these straws are bad. Sorry, straws. I will feed you to the birdies. I have a lot of strawberries to feed to the birds now. They'll like them. Who doesn't? What bird doesn't like fruit? Ah! Alright. So I got those books. Is there anything else I can think of that we need to write down? I don't think so. We only got 2 people here. So I won't do a raid, because I feel like it's not worth it unless we have 3 to 4 people. So, but I appreciate you guys. You can find everything on my YouTube, and I'll see you later. I hope you have a most wonderful day. Bye.